Next, we'll hear from the candidates from the Colorado State District 20. First of all, the incumbent, Cheri Jahn.
Good evening, and thank you again, as everyone has said, for having us here this evening. My name is Cheri Jahn, and I am the current state senator for Senate District 20. Grew up right here in Wheat Ridge, graduated from Wheat Ridge High, and of course I raised my family here in Wheat Ridge. I'm a small business owner, and I was a single mom. For many years, I cleaned 3 to 4 houses a day while building my business and raising my kids. I never missed a holiday party. I never missed a field day. I would go in between houses if I had to. Of course, I spruced up just a little. I would go in between the houses so that I was able to participate in everything that the kids were doing. I worked in the evenings, I worked during the day, and I worked on weekends so that I could take care of my kids and make ends meet. And you know, sometimes it did seem too much. Sometimes I wanted to quit. Sometimes I wanted to sit down in the middle of the kitchen floor, cry, and say no more. But I didn't. I only fought harder. I even got my degree as a paralegal. So as a legislator, I have talked to many constituents who have felt the same as I felt, who have been where I've been. While we're in a much better position than we were in 2008, we do have a ways to go. We do have many little businesses that are still struggling to stay in the black, and we do have many seniors that are struggling to pay their rent and to get their food. Nope, I don't believe that government is the answer to everything. In fact, I've spent a good amount of time downtown, stopping regulation that would cripple those small businesses like mine and add further cost to the individuals. However, I do believe that smart legislation can spur innovation and support hardworking Coloradans. Under this philosophy, I have passed new tax credits for small businesses, I've capped tuition increases for students, and reformed the homestead tax exemption to reduce the tax burden on seniors. One thing I hear repeatedly at the doors: I am sick of partisan politics, and so am I. I was not elected to the Senate to represent one party. I was sent to represent my entire district, and I have done that. Every piece of legislation I have ever run, I have made sure I had support from my community and both sides, both parties. Because of this, my work defending small businesses, I have been referred to downtown as the gatekeeper. I am running for re-election to keep fighting for bipartisan solutions that will create well-paying jobs, spur innovation, and ease the burden on hardworking Coloradans, just like myself, that know what it's like to struggle and to make ends meet. Cheri Jahn, Senate District 20.
Next, we'll hear from the next challenger, Larry Queen.
I'm a Colorado native and moved here about 40 years ago, moved to Wheat Ridge from Denver. And it's funny, my parents were pretty happy in Wheat Ridge, or happy in Denver, until the government started bossing them around. They told my parents, your kids can't walk 3 blocks to this school. We want them to ride a bus 30 minutes to this school. They told my dad, you know, you can't live where you want starting next year, or you'll have to quit your job as a Denver policeman. Imagine a government that keeps telling you, we know best, but they just don't listen. Well, it's not that hard to imagine, because a lot has stayed the same for the last 40 years. I've always enjoyed my state government because Colorado's always been pretty much right down the middle. And then 2013 happened. And like a lot of you, I was shocked. Democrats were in charge of everything, and it seemed like they overreached on everything. They underfunded K-12 education in order to fund a failed healthcare exchange. They gave driver's licenses and in-state tuition to illegal immigrants. They raised every single one of our gas and electric bills, even seniors. And it just felt like Michael Bloomberg was running the show. They sure weren't listening to us. And I thought, for sure my state senator will vote against some of this. And I was disappointed when she didn't. And then Senator Jahn even co-sponsored Senate Bill 66, which was $1 billion tax increase that would have taken half of Jeffco tax dollars and sent them to other school districts. Well, the people of Colorado spoke up. They defeated that tax increase. They recalled 2 state senators. And here in Jeffco, they forced another one to resign. And I thought, well, now things will calm down. Now things have to get bipartisan. But it didn't. It just got worse. Last year, they elected their 2 most extreme members to leadership. They put a tax on every gallon of paint. They decided it was important to tell us what kind of shower heads we could have, what kind of toilets we could have. On top of that, again, K-12 education took a back seat to expanding Obamacare. And Senator Jahn ran a bill, sponsored and authored by her, to give oil companies the right to come take private land to run pipelines through eminent domain. And I thought, this can't be right. And I looked at her voting record. She voted 98% of the time with her party leadership last year. And I thought, maybe after 14 years, you sort of quit becoming one of us and you start to become one of them. So I've been walking a lot of doors. I've talked to a lot of people. I can tell you that I talk to moms who say, I just want to be left alone to raise my kids. I talk to teachers that just say, I don't want to have to teach to a test. And I see all these protests because people feel like politicians don't listen. Well, my name's Larry Queen, and I'm running for you, and I will listen. Thank you. I appreciate your vote.